Alright guys, I think we're streaming. Just a short video then. So I've started the fuselage sections now, and so I'm doing these in black. Again, I'm using no brim on the Wham Bam system because it's a pretty thick section anyway. This is the fuselage section. This is the RazorBlade, so I'll post off the last of the videos. I think there's about 5, maybe 6 sections to this fuselage. In fact, let's have a quick look. Control O. Yeah, A, B, C, D, E, F, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. So we're doing Fuse A at the moment. The holes are really for cooling. There's also a bit of a hole here to let air in. And on the rear section of fuselage, there's another hole for cooling the motor. For this is really for letting air in to get to the speed controller. And the motor, this is a pusher motor. So yeah, let's preview this so you can see the technique of joining this is similar to other 3DLabs models in that they use, they're not using dovetail necessarily, they're using, let me just flip this around, hang on. There you go, it's upside down. There you go. They're using these little slots which they put plywood into, but I suppose you could print a little bit of plastic, or PLA rather, and slot it in there. They're just keys really to allow alignment. To be honest, do you really need them? Probably not. What do they also provide? Structural integrity. So if you have a look down, let's just get that in the right position. Zoom in a little bit. There you go. You can see it's built up like a box section in many places. So there's obviously a reinforcement to the nose. That acts like a raft in some ways. So there's an inner and an outer section. I'm using middle slicing tolerance. You see these are the kind of grooves that go down the outside, but well, there's some grooves on the outside separate, but then these are the bits that perform almost like spar sections, I suppose, reinforcement sections. So it gives the fuselage a fair bit of strength. I'm using single wall. The reason I'm doing that is because, well, it's got 2 walls effectively, plus these little strengtheners. And you don't want to, obviously this is what we call thin wall section, as we've been talking about earlier. And I'm using middle slicing tolerance, so you could see, as mentioned previously, it's at the 0.25 layer height and or layer thickness, and the wall's reasonably thick. And I've got 3 layers at the bottom and 2 layers at the top. And currently, you can see that's now printed out nicely. I'll keep an eye on this. It should be thick enough here to stop warping. That's the only downside sometimes of not using a brim, is there is potential for warping as it moves further up the Z-axis. That's that line I was telling you about down this. Well, if you're looking at the printer, it's at the left to the right here. They draw 2 lines, so that's that G code that's in 441, but it's not in 45. It's over here, I think, to the right, way too far. So on 441, it's slightly inboard. And that's the prime effectively, so you don't need a skirt, because normally a skirt sits on the outside and it provides the prime. You don't need it because it draws 2 lines for you here, so the head's already primed. And you can see it doing its retract there. It's feeding now, you see it slowly moving, but every so often you'll see it's building, building in the bit of crosshatch there. Because this is going to be the wall that I glue against on the next section of the fuselage, right? Yeah, so it's coming together quite well. This is the second fuselage I'm printing, and this one is going to be the backup number 2 plane that my son can fly, or in case we crash the first one. I'm probably going to build a catapult as well, because this one does actually come, this model does come with the ability to put two hooks on the bottom. And I'll have a look at if they provide a catapult, or whether I'm going to have to build my own. Probably a couple of bits of small bungee and some sort of train mechanism. So I'll think about how to catapult it. These Delta jets are prone to tip stall and invert really quickly, because I've had one before. I had a foamy that was a similar design, and unless you really threw it hard into a decent wind, or you literally threw it from your side on the wingtip, you couldn't get thing to fly. It would just invert and crash straight away, unless you were very quick on the stick to flip it over or invert, use down stick. So they're a bit tricky. This is more of an advanced plane for flying, so I wouldn't recommend it for a beginner, but it's okay to move up to, because with a decent motor on the back, this thing can go like an absolute bat out of hell. All right, thanks for listening. Catch you later.